Thank you, thank you. सिर्फ प्लेट कुछ खाने के लिए क्या? सिर्फ चकली और थोड़ा चूड़ा वगैरह हाँ ठीक है, लेकिन और कुछ वो पुणे का तुम्हारा वो बाकरवड़ी वगैरह लाओ जरा। हाँ लेकिन ये सब नमकीन हो गया यार, थोड़ा कुछ मीठा आइटम में लाओ ना थोड़ा। अच्छा ठीक है, लेकिन ये बहुत मीठा नहीं है यार, थोड़ा सा सोन पापड़ी वगैरह अच्छे। अब कैसे, अब ये थोड़ा बराबर लग रहा है। Like I love to eat variety of food items, I also love to invest in a variety of stocks. खाऊंगे क्या ताई?
मैडम वेट मैडम, रोलिंग शुरू है, कट।
Hey folks, CA Rachana Ranade here and I welcome you all to a very interesting video which is about my top 5 picks for this Samvat 2079. By the way, wishing you all a very happy Diwali and a prosperous new year ahead. Today, whatever 5 stocks we are going to discuss today, I am going to start an SIP in all these 5 stocks using a very smart way. So today, towards the end of the video, I am going to talk about 2 super duper important points. So don't forget to watch the video till the end. Let's move on with the first stock, and it is from the telecommunication space and is one of my personal favorites. Have you guessed it? It is Bharti Airtel Limited. Well, this company is a leading provider in the telecommunication space and it has a presence over 18 countries in the world. Talking about some key strengths about the company, Airtel is one of the prominent players in India and is among the top 3 companies globally as far as the consolidated mobile network is concerned or consolidated mobile connections is concerned. If you have heard about Airtel Black, that is an example of a consolidated mobile connection. Now what does it include? It includes Wi-Fi connectivity, it includes mobile connectivity, it includes something like a DTH. If all these put together we are talking about, that is nothing but consolidated mobile connection. Second thing, it is also future proof and it is also ready with its 5G technology. Everyone knows that our Prime Minister just unveiled the 5G technology in India, and the big question is, where does Airtel stand in this entire scenario? Well, Airtel is the first one to demonstrate live commercial network. It is the first to conduct rural 5G trial. It is the first to give a cloud gaming experience. So I think all in all, they are very much in line with the current technology. One more important point is that it is the largest player in the B2B connectivity space with over 1 million businesses as their clients in their integrated portfolio. Now, for us, generally retail people like you and me, we feel that Jio is the leader. Jio might be the leader in the retail space, but as far as the business space is concerned, Airtel is leading in the game. This was about Airtel. What about the overall industry? If I am talking about telecommunications sector, it has received the second highest investment from FPI as per the August 2022 data, and this inflow is second highest since May 2020. I hope some key points about Airtel are clear. With that, let's move on with the second stock. The second stock that I have chosen is Bajaj Finserv Limited. Well, this stock or this company is basically an investment company with major investments in its own group companies. But then you will be like, where have they invested their money? Have a look at this chart. Here you can see that Bajaj Finserv Limited is like a holding company for which companies? For Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Allianz General Insurance Limited, for Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance Limited, Bajaj Finserv Direct Limited and Bajaj Finserv Health Limited. You can also see the percentage holding in each and every company. With the help of the chart, I hope many of you got this clarity because many people have a confusion between what is the exact relationship between Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv. I hope it's very clear in your mind that Bajaj Finserv is like a holding company of Bajaj Finance Limited. Well, now that you know about all these basic points, now you can understand what is the main revenue source for this company. Can I say they are into life insurance? Can I say they are into general insurance? Can I say they are into retail financing? And can I say they are into investment platform as well? Answer is yes, but not directly. Everything in an indirect mode. Just to give you clarification, does Bajaj Finserv directly sell life insurance? Answer is no. Bajaj Finserv has invested in BALIC, which sells life insurance. Does Bajaj Finserv directly sell general insurance? Answer is no. Bajaj Finserv has invested in BAGIC, which sells general insurance. I hope you have understood all these 4 parameters wherein they are not generating revenue directly but indirectly. Moving on to the strengths of this company, the very first one is that they have a strong focus on cross-selling to existing customers. Second point is that the future growth engines of this in the form of AMC business, healthcare business, service aggregator business and so on. Now, I'm sure this point was a little bit bouncer. I just wanted to clarify, moving back to this chart, you can see that out of these companies where they have invested, Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Allianz General Insurance Company and Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance Company, these three companies contribute to 98% of the revenue and balance 2% is contributed by all other companies which you can see in the chart plus few more which are not in the chart as well. So you can imagine that if these companies which are contributing to a very small amount of revenue right now, if they grow, can that become a big strength of the company? Answer is obviously yes. And the final one is value unlocking due to the listing of Bajaj and BALIC. In simple words, if these life insurance and general insurance businesses are listed, that can definitely be a positive point for Bajaj Finserv Limited. I hope you have understood about all the key points of Bajaj Finserv, but then which is the third stock? Well, the third stock is REC Limited. This is a company which is a central public sector undertaking under the Ministry of Power. But the moment you hear these words, Rural Electrification Corporation, what do you think? What does the company do? Is it a power generation company? Is it a power transmission company? Is it a power distribution company? No. In fact, it is a company which provides finances to power generation, to power transmission and to power distribution companies as well. With this thought process in your mind, now this is very clear that it is what? It is a financing company, right? With this, let's move on to some other important points. It is the first Indian PSU to raise money from international markets. They had listed green bonds on the London Stock Exchange in the year 2017. Moving ahead with the top 3 points about the company, the first one is that even though the stock has been range bound for the past 2 years, it has given an amazing dividend yield of almost 12%. The second important point is that our Prime Minister, who has a vision to achieve 500 gigawatts and a 50% share of renewable energy by 2030, and he also has promised to achieve a net zero emission by 2070, which will be used for Vande Bharat trains, which will be used for vibrant village programs, for e-vehicles, for public mobility and transport. I will be like, what has REC got to do with our Prime Minister's vision now? Understand. If all these things were to hold true about powering villages through the vibrant village program, about powering Vande Bharat trains, about powering public mobility and transport through and in e-vehicles and so on, don't you think a lot of financing will be required? Who will provide this financing? That will be given by REC. So that will also act as a positive point for the company. And third point is that the monetization of transmission assets through InvIT model will also benefit REC. Now you might be like, "Okay, Rachana, you have talked about 3 stocks till now. The very first one was Airtel, the second one was Bajaj Finserv and the third one was REC. But you have talked about all these stocks in very much brief. Where will we get to learn about all these 3 stocks in absolute detail? Well, there can be 2 possibilities. Number 1, you can check out our Pro Investor membership on YouTube, or else there is a new announcement which I have to make. The announcement is that we are introducing Pro Investor memberships on our website www.rachanaranade.com, and if you enroll for the yearly membership, you will get a 10% discount. No coupon code is required. A flat discount will be available to you all. So hurry up and enroll for Pro Investor memberships on our website. Let's move on with the 4th stock, and just in case if you are tensed up that which stock will that be? Tension mat lo, just do anulom vilom. Did you get the clue? It is from the FMCG space, and the name of the stock is Patanjali Foods Limited. If I were to talk about the product portfolio of Patanjali Foods Limited, it ranges from soya, oils, noodles, biscuits, nutraceuticals and so many more. Well, now that you have understood about the products, I'm sure you already might be knowing about their products. But now let's move on to the key strengths of the company. The very first strength is that they are into an expansion mode. But expansion of what? Expansion of their existing diversified supply chain. Second important point is that they are also focusing on the backward integration. Now, what does that mean? If you remember, I told you that they are into soya and palm oils. But what will be a backward integration for that? They are going more and more aggressively into the palm plantation. So, raw material also they are having, and the finished product also they are manufacturing from their own sourced raw material. Third important point is that the entire business, food business of Patanjali Ayurved was transferred under Patanjali Foods Limited with effect from 1st of July 2022. So, we can see an increased turnover and increased profitability in the coming quarterly result. The next important point is that in one of the recent interviews with Swami Ramdev ji, he had mentioned that the company might come up with 4 more IPOs leading to a huge value unlocking. If I were to talk about the FII and DII stake as well, the FII stake has increased by 2.35% and DII stake has increased by 2.27% respectively in the June 2022 quarter. I hope you have understood about all the key points about Patanjali Foods, but one more important point at the industry level is that the FPI flow, that is a foreign portfolio investment flow in the FMCG sector, was highest since May 2020. And I had this opportunity to understand about the business model of Patanjali Foods from the promoter himself. If you want to watch this video, don't forget to check this out on our channel itself. Well, before we move on with the fifth stock, let me tell you one important point that after we are done with the discussion of the fifth stock, I'm going to talk about a smart way of investing in all these 5 stocks through an SIP mode. I'm also going to talk about the weightage in which I am going to start my investment journey in all these 5 stocks. Well, with that, let's move on with the fifth stock. For that, let me give you some hints. This stock is in the QSR space. It's very well known for its pizzas, and it's also very well known with the fact that it is one of my favorites, and the name of the stock is Jubilant Foodworks Limited. Before I talk about this stock, let me talk about the industry as a whole. According to Euromonitor, the Indian food services market was valued at $58 billion in the year 2019. But obvious reasons, 2020 there was a sharp drop, because of which it was valued at $32 billion in 2020. What do you think? In the year 2021, what might have happened? Like other many segments, do you think the pre-pandemic level might have been crossed? This is what it looks like. As at 2021, the valuation of this sector stands at USD $44 billion. Now, there are 2 ways to look at it. Possibility number 1, we can say that it has not even crossed the pre-pandemic level. Possibility number 2, we can say there is still a lot of headroom left, and there is still a lot of growth left in this specific space. Moving on with Jubilant Foodworks Limited specific information now. Number 1 important point is that it is a part of Jubilant Bhartiya Group and is India's largest food service company. One more important point is that the company holds a master franchisee rights for 3 international brands, which is Domino's Pizza, Dunkin' Donuts and Popeyes. All these 3 brands address different food market segments. If I'm talking about exclusive rights, they have exclusive rights only for Domino's Pizza and exclusive rights in which countries? In India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Nepal. Well, do you think that the company has only these 3 brands? Answer is no. They are also venturing into the biryani segment through Ekdam. They are venturing into the Chinese food segment through Hong's Kitchen, and they are also venturing into the ready-to-cook segment with Chef Boss. Well, if you look at this image, you can understand that the company has a pan-India presence with more than 1,625 outlets across the country only for Domino's Pizza. In fact, in the financial year 2022 itself, they have opened 230 new stores and have entered 48 new cities. The company is currently focusing on 3 moats, which are supply chain, efficiency and technological superiority. Now, I think you have a very nice understanding about this company, and you feel that with all these points, the stock price might have zoomed in the past few months. Do you know what has happened to the stock price? Have a look at this chart. It was on 18th of October 2021 that the stock peaked at 915 rupees. Of course, this is the split adjusted price. But since then, have a look at this fall. The stock fell by 35% approximately. And as I shoot the video, the stock trades at almost 600 rupees. But then the big question is, why did this fall happen? One of the major reasons for this fall was that the company stopped reporting the SSSG number, which is the same store sales growth number, all of a sudden, and which was heavily criticized by the brokers. This was the date after which the stock started to fall quite heavily. But what did they start to report? They started to report LFL instead of SSSG, and LFL is nothing but like for like growth. You might be like, what is this LFL? This is a measure of growth in sale of 2 or more stores adjusted for the newly opened stores. So it is something like this, that if there is one store which has been operational for 3 years and one more store is opened just recently, they would extrapolate the sales numbers and then would compare the sales growth of both these stores. This is just a brief explanation. I have not talked about LFL in detail. But if you want to know more about the stock, more about the company's business in detail, for that you can check both these videos which I have done quite a bit months or a year ago maybe, but this will give you a much more deeper understanding about the company. Well, now that you have understood about all the 5 stocks, now I'm going to tell you how I am going to invest in these 5 stocks every single month in a very systematic and in a very seamless way. For that, I'm here on the smallcase app and I'm going to show you how I'm going to create my own small case. You have to pay attention to this process very carefully. Why? Because a big surprise is coming up for you. What am I going to do? I'm on the create tab and now I'm going to hit the plus sign. In that, I go and hit on add stocks. So let's go through one by one. First, I'm going to select Bharti Airtel. Then we had discussed Bajaj Finserv. Then we had discussed REC Limited. Then we had discussed Patanjali Foods. And finally, we had discussed Jubilant Foodworks. Now I hit on done. Now here you can see that an equal weightage is selected for the stocks, but what can we do? We can just go on weightage and shares. In that, I can do a custom weightage. Now let's take Bharti Airtel as 2 shares, Bajaj Finserv as 2, REC let's restrict to 10 shares. Let's add 2 for Patanjali and 2 for Jubilant Foodworks. With this, you can see that the minimum investment amount is just 9,814. This is a small case which is of less than 10,000 rupees. After you have done this, you can just hit on save. Now I'm going to name the small case as Utsav 2022. Then I hit on save small case. Ta-da! Done. And now what I'm going to do is when I'm going to invest, I'm just going to click on invest now. But am I going to do that today? No, I'm going to do on Mahurat trading day. So don't forget to check out our live stream on the Mahurat trading day. Well, now comes the most interesting and exciting part of the video, wherein you can get a chance to get my technical analysis course worth 8,000 rupees absolutely free of cost. How do you do that? Step number 1, you have to go to the link in the description box or in the pinned comment and you can download the small case app. That is step number 1, right? Step number 2, create your own small case with all the fundamentally strong stocks. Step number 3, go to the Google form link which is given again in the description box and in the pinned comment. Once you go to the Google forms, you will have to fill in your basic details. You will have to mention which stocks you have chosen for your own small case. Also give the link of the small case that you have created. If I feel your small case is amazing, if I feel that all the stocks that you have chosen are fundamentally strong stock, again as I mentioned, you stand a chance to get my technical analysis course absolutely free of cost. How many lucky winners, or I can say how many research people can get this course? It is only 5 people. So do your best, do the best analysis, and don't forget to check out the small case app in description box below and in the pinned comment. I hope you have loved the video. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share it with your friends, because even if there is a Mahurat trading for stocks, there is no Mahurat for hitting the like button and for sharing the video. If you want to know more about Mahurat trading, you can click here. And if you want to know more about my top pick for Diwali, you can click here. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye-bye.